Hey guys, welcome back to another video. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys a mid to high level money making guide. So in this guide, I'm going to show you guys 4 different methods that would apply to mid to high level players, and hopefully it will be able to make you some pretty good money or give you a few more methods that will allow you to make some pretty good GP per hour. And before I start, I would like to say that if you do find this video helpful, hit that like button and subscribe for more RuneScape 3 content. I post a lot of videos kind of like this, so if you like this one, you will probably like the other ones. Anyway, let's get on with the video. Moving on to the first money-making method of this guide, we have killing Kal'gerion Demons. And this can make you up to 4 to 5 mil per hour. Now, looking at the requirements, there are only 2 requirements, which is 90 Slayer and 90 Dungeoneering, so these are fairly high-level requirements. And as for the recommended stats and items, you will want 90 plus Magic, 95 plus Prayer, 96 Herblore, 96 Summoning. As for the gear and inventory setup, it should look somewhat like mine, although some upgrades would be good. As for the armor, you could upgrade that. But some things that you should definitely have include overload or holy overloads. You should also have prayer potions or super restores. As for the familiar, you should bring a pack yak or a pack mammoth and fill that with food. Also, the Demon Slayer perk is a really important perk to have. It will boost your DPS against these demons, which is pretty important. The Spring Cleaner is nice. These Kal'gerion Demons drop a lot of salvage, so that will save you from picking up all the drops. And then Luck of the Dwarves, of course. Seed Aside and Infernal Urn if you want the farming and the prayer XP, and a Charming Imp to pick up the charms. As for the weapon or combat style, I will be using magic. However, the best weapon to choose is the upgraded Dark Light, and to get this you will need the Dimension of Disaster quest completed as well as the Shadow of the Storm. I do not have these quests completed, so the second best option is just to use magic, which is what I will be doing. I also have the Supreme Runic Accuracy Aura, which will really help with my accuracy against these Kal'gerion Demons. Anyway, now let's get on with the actual method. So they are located in the Kal'gerion Resource Dungeon in Damaheim. You can also kill them in the wilderness if you want, but this is the safe spot to kill them. So they are located in the Resource Dungeon right here on this map. So Kal'gerion Demons are not aggressive, and they do not have any special abilities, so you don't have to worry about that. The Supreme Runic Accuracy Aura is definitely the best to use. They do have a pretty high defense level, and they are sometimes pretty tough to hit, so upgrading your accuracy is really important. So this method is pretty simple. You will just want to kill each Kal'gerion Demon independently. It would be pretty tough if you decided to take on multiple Kal'gerions at once. They do hit pretty hard, and it does take quite a while to actually kill one, so I would suggest just taking on one at a time. As for the drops that you can obtain from Kal'gerion Demons, they do have a few rare drops, so they drop the Demon Slayer equipment. Most of this isn't too valuable, however the Demon Slayer gloves are worth 3.5 mil, but this is pretty rare to actually get them. It is about 1 in 700 to actually get these gloves. You can also get an uncut onyx, and the drop rate for this is 1 in 256, so it's not too rare, but it is a rare drop. As for the just common drops, they drop a lot of rune salvage, which is where you will be making most of your profit. They also drop a few noted herbs, as well as some law and blood runes. So there isn't really any need to bring any magic notepaper or anything, since most of the drops are either stackable or noted drops. Anyway, now let's move on to the next method. So moving on to this next method, we have more of a mid-level money-making method, and that is because there isn't really any hard requirements for this method. The only requirement is just having a bit of cash to actually buy the crystal keys. No skill requirements, so that is really nice. However, the Slayer Cape is really useful here. And this method is going to be unlocking the crystal chests in Taverley. So as for the setup, you will want it to look somewhat like mine. So having the Slayer Cape is really important for this method to maximize the efficiency. You can teleport to Turiel, which will make it a lot faster to actually get to the chest. If you do not have the Slayer Cape, alternatively you can just teleport to the Taverley Lodestone and run to the crystal chest from there. It will take a little bit of extra time, but it still does work. The Tokelzo or Wilderness Sword is useful to teleport to a bank quickly. Also, the gem bag is essential for this method because you will be getting a lot of gems while opening the crystal chest, so this will save up a lot of inventory space. The sealed rune pouch is pretty useful as well. This you can carry your alchemical runes, which will save a little bit of inventory space there. And then the pack yak, or the best beast of burden that you have, is really useful. It will allow you to carry more keys per trip, as well as carry more loot back. So if you guys are actually using my setup for this method, you can make up to 7 to 8 mil per hour. This crystal chest is actually even better than the Prifddinas crystal chest because of the rune drop. The rune drop, you make over 100k every time you get that, and it is a pretty common drop. So this method is really great. If you guys don't have like the Slayer Cape or the gem bag, then the profit will definitely be a lot lower, but it will still be pretty decent. Probably at least 2 to 3 mil per hour. But with my setup, it is just amazing, and if you guys are looking to make some pretty easy money, this is a great way to do it. So next is harvesting cursed energy, and this is a pretty easy money making method. So there isn't really any hard requirements for this method, although it is recommended to have a higher divination level, and this is simply because you'll be able to harvest more energy per hour depending on your divination level. Also, having a high combat level is pretty important for this method as well, because when you are harvesting cursed energy and you have any cursed energy in your inventory, you can now be attacked by anyone in the wilderness. So even if you are a level 3, you can still be attacked by a max player if you do have any cursed energy in your inventory. So that is why being a maxed player, or even not just a high combat level, is pretty important. And this also allows you to kill some lower level players. There are a lot of bots that actually do cursed energy. So that is a way you can boost your GP per hour. You can, bring just a rune sword or something and just kill a few bots while you're here and collect a little bit more cursed energy that way. Although overall you will be making around 2 mil per hour while harvesting cursed energy. One thing that you should note is that you should be converting your memories into energy, so not XP, and that will maximize your amount of energy per hour. And you cannot sell cursed energy on the Grand Exchange, so you will need to convert it to incandescent energy, or you can go on the forums and trade it to someone. That is okay as well. I believe it's selling for around 280 GP each, although you can just transmute it into the incandescent energy. And moving on to the next method in this video, this is more of a high-level money-making method, and it is going to be killing Nihils. So I do have a full Nihil guide linked in the description down below, but I will be going over a brief overview of how you actually do this method. So starting off with the requirements. So the main 3 requirements are Fate of the Gods, 76 Slayer, and 87 Summoning. There are also some recommendations, and these include 90 plus range and defense, 81 divination, and this is for the transmutation, so you can transmute one of these items into a different summoning item, and this is to make the different Nihil pouches, so you can transmutate it into the most profitable one. And then also 95 prayer for curses and 96 herblore for overloads. Now looking at the gear setup, we have a tier 80 plus weapon and tier 70 plus armor. So I'm using the Noxious Longbow as well as Cyrenix, so both 90 plus, but you can get away with 80 plus weapon and 70 plus armor. Amulet of Souls is really important. It will help Soul Split heal you a little bit more. Cinderbane Gloves will also up your DPS, so you'll be able to kill the Nihils faster. And then also the Shard of Zeros. This is a recommended item because this makes it so the Nihils aren't aggressive. And this is necessary because the Nihils are pretty strong creatures, so if you have a lot of them on you at once, it would just be too overwhelming. So the Shard of Zeros is required, and you do get this from the Fate of the Gods quest. Now looking at the inventory setup, you're going to want an Overload or Holy Overload, also a Prayer Potion or Super Restores. Enhanced Excalibur does help here as well, and then the Pack-Yak with the Winter Storage Scrolls, this would definitely be recommended as well. So Nihils are located inside the World Gate, and you want to travel to the pit, and then once you get here you will be in the Nihil Arena. So once you get here you'll want to run to the center, and then you want to select the second option, so no, spawn the Nihils instead of the bosses, and then the Nihils will begin to spawn. So for this method, you're going to only want to kill the Smoke Nihils, so find the corner where most of the Smoke Nihils do spawn. And then if you look at my action bar that I am using, you're going to want Corruption Shot at your #1 spot. And this is the most important ability for this method. It will allow Nihils around the one you're attacking to take damage as well. So once you have killed enough Smoke Nihils, then usually some of the Nihils running around will be fairly low on health, and you can just pick them off as well. So as for the drops, the most profitable items that you will be getting from these are the summoning ingredients. So for the Smoke Nihils, you'll be getting Avianchi Talons. For the Ice Nihils, you will get the Icean Feathers. And then for the Shadow Nihils, you'll be getting the Demon Horn, and the Blood Nihils will drop the Vampire Fangs. The Nihils do drop a few other fairly profitable items, but most of the money that you're going to be making off this method will come from the Nihil pouches that you'll be making after. And so it is pretty easy to actually kill them. It's fairly AFK actually. They don't do that much damage if you're killing them one at a time. So it is pretty relaxing, and it's a pretty nice method. Now moving on to actually making the Nihil pouches. So first you will want to figure out which summoning pouch is the best to make. So for me it was the Shadow Nihil, so I transmuted my other ones into Demon Horns. And then it's pretty simple. You just want to bring some Elder Energy, some Elder Charms, and then your ingredients, and you can make these Smoke Nihil pouches on the Infused Summoning Obelisk. And so depending on how many pouches you will be making, just for one pouch you will want the summoning ingredient, 150 Elder Energy, and then 1 Elder Charm, as well as just a regular pouch. So multiply that by however many pouches you will be making, and that will be how much Elder Energy you will need to buy. You will not get enough Elder Energy from the Nihils themselves, so you will have to buy them off the Grand Exchange in order to actually make the Nihil pouches. And also for the Elder Charms, they are somewhat difficult to get. You sometimes don't get enough from the Nihils, so it would be smart to save up when you're doing any kind of Slayer task in the World Gate. So stuff like Muspahs, they will drop the Elder Charms as well, so just save up those, and this will really help you when you are killing Nihils. Anyway guys, that is it for this video. If you guys have any more questions about Nihils, I will be linking my full Nihil guide in the description down below, so you guys could check that out if you are a little bit confused. But feel free to comment if you have any questions about anything, and also hit that like button if you did enjoy the video, and maybe even consider subscribing if you like videos like this. Anyway guys, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.